Hello, and welcome to Legacy Curious. I'm your host, David Gravelle. In this episode, we welcome Gabrie'le Eato, but you can call her Gab, the OG digital visionary, ideation strategist. Gab helps businesses refine and execute bold ideas, blending strategy, creativity, and neurodivergent thinking to turn concepts, dreams, and visions into reality, digitally. She founded and owns Eleable, the originator of storytelling design. Let's welcome Gab and get to know her today. Well, hello, Gab. Welcome to the show. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you, David?
I'm doing great. Yeah, just loving it here in Oklahoma City. Thanks for joining us. Wanted to invite you to the show, of course, to get to know you, learn about, the life that you've lived, the legacy that you hope to leave behind, and ultimately, find a way to work with you in the future again. If you've got some best practices and life lessons to share, we'd love to hear them as well today, as well as in the future. So let's just start with getting to know you when you were a young person. Tell us about your early life and your family. Where'd you grow up?
So, I was born at OSU, Columbus, Ohio, and I still live here in Ohio, and I grew up in Hilliard. And I basically kind of traveled between Hilliard, Dublin area a lot. But my primary place of upbringing was Hilliard growing up.
Okay. And when you were a young person, what kind of activities did you do? Were you into sports or dance or, the arts? What did you do?
So I actually was I didn't think about that, but I actually was a cheerleader. I can show you a picture. I used to do cheerleading growing up, and I also was very into like Neopets and Webkins and anything that involved like technology in a way. So for me, I like cheerleading because I used to watch this show called Kim Possible. I don't know if
Oh,
you know what
yeah,
show I'm
she was
talking
awesome.
about.
Of course. Yeah, I
And
love
I
Kim
liked,
Possible. So
yeah, and I
inspirational.
liked how she had like the that communicator device thing, like call me, beep me. So I want to be like impossible so bad. So this is me actually. I don't know if it's gonna show.
There you go. Yep,
Yeah,
we
I'm in
got it.
cheer. The green screen, I don't know. It's
Yeah.
like
And what did you like about cheer? What was it about cheer that, you remember enjoying and
I wanted to become possible. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna become possible. So to me it was great. And um not only that, but like I really liked being able to like support other people. And it was fun to me. I liked being able to do like the flips, the pyramids, and all those kind of things. It's long ago, but I liked it.
yeah.
And people who did share were pretty neat people too. So
Sure. Yeah. And a lot of, I'm assuming type A's, a lot of energy, and you just kind of fed off of that, right? I don't want to put words in your mouth, but that sounds like, the environment you would have been in.
yeah, definitely. It was very high energy. My friends were very interesting. Very interesting. And you know, I really feel like most of my friends who did share were probably like neurodivergent kind of too, now that I think about it. Because we all had very similar interests. Like some of them like to like collect certain things, and that's kind of also what kind of tied me into liking to cheer because like
Yeah,
the people doing it were great people.
sure. Okay. And so, what happened after high school? Did you go on further your education? What are some of the things you studied?
So I studied psychology. So I started with nursing first, and then
Okay.
I switched majors because I was like, okay, I am not meant to be a nurse. Somebody like pooped in my hand one time, and I was like, no more, no more, I cannot do this.
I'm done.
And
I'm
yeah, I
done.
was like, I'm done. That was the end. And I would cry a lot because like I felt sad like for these people. It was just a lot of stress, and I couldn't tolerate it anymore. And then I was trying to do the schooling, and the schooling was incredibly difficult because like whenever I would try to answer something, my way of answering things would confuse like the instructors, I think, because like I have a different way of saying things sometimes. So it would be misunderstood, and then somebody might have the same answer on their paper as me, and then I'm like, "Oh, why did I get it wrong?" And like then it's like, why are you questioning your instructor? And that was not the case. It was
Right.
more so of me just trying to be understood. So
Sure.
um, what ended up happening is like I just switched majors to psychology, and I love being able to help people through things. I did my internship, um, kind of advocating for neurodiversity, and then me myself being autistic, having ADHD, it kind of was like great to be able to support that community. So
Yeah,
I
you
have a Bachelor of Science in Psychology and an AA in Behavior and Social Sciences. So
and that helped you kind of understand yourself more. I'm sure that journey kind of revealed a whole bunch of new information that made sense because you were
mhm.
living it, but maybe didn't get taught that or exposed to it at
Oh,
that
for
time.
sure. There's a lot of misconceptions about neurodiversity, and people don't always understand. Like, they have one like thought in their mind of what neurodiversity looks like, or like what autism or ADHD looks like. It's such a taboo thing to certain people, and I kind of like want to help with like removing that. Like, I don't know. It's just sad to me because like there are a lot of beautiful people out there. Oh, my dog is like collar. Did you hear it? There are a lot of beautiful people out there, and I feel like they just kind of they get kind of thrown under like the rug because like people don't understand them, and it's
Well,
sad.
that's where I think that's where it starts, and I'm hoping that through the interviews like this and episodes like this that we can just continue to have that conversation and educate more people and the people that need to hear it and see it. Hopefully they do.
Mhm.
But again, it just starts with us being curious, right, and wanting to understand, and I
Yeah.
think that's where it all begins. So thank you for being open and honest and sharing that. That's very helpful
Mhm.
as we all learn. So what comes next as nursing wasn't right for you, you went into the psychology, and what were
Mhm.
some early jobs like, and how did you ultimately decide that you wanted to start your own business?
Yeah, so I was working as a behavioral health technician, and I just came home one day and I was like, this is not it. I was like, this is not it. As I was getting bit, kicked, screamed, this kid took his pants off, peed on it. It was just a lot. It was a lot. And I was very stressed out, and I was going home, I was crying, and it was just too much. And I picked up my laptop. I decided that, you know what? I am going to start building these sites again. I started doing it when I was 10. It gave me a lot of peace. I've always gone back to website design whenever I want peace. And I did it, and a lot of people seem to like it. And now people are doing my storytelling design on a lot of places, and it's definitely a blessing because I kind of tie my psychology into it, and I do it in a way that it's impactful. Like, I don't just build websites, I build websites that are strategic. So it's like strategic digital web design.
Okay. And so it sounds like, having that creative space and working in, one-on-one situations and with individuals that need your expertise is where you've really found, your gift and your calling. Is that fair to say?
Oh, for sure. Because I think there's so many people who don't have a voice. And I think the digital realm can be used to amplify a voice. And it's kind of like presentation. So, like, if somebody has like a website that's really nice looking, right? It's kind of like if they were at a conference, how they would dress, like their attire and stuff. It makes them look more professional, look like somebody who's like reputable. So I help people kind of like look more reputable and do the things that they need to do in quality and luxurious and all that
Sure.
good stuff.
So, Gab, can you tell us a bit about what the process looks like when you start to talk to a new client? Because, you're taking information that you hear that is maybe not visual, and you're turning it into a visual, product. What does that process look like? And, what are some of the challenges that you face when you're doing that?
Yeah, so when somebody is telling me what they want, I actually take into consideration every little thing that they're saying. So I'm writing all of it down, whether they know I'm writing it down or not. I am. And I like to get to know my client so that like I can have a good picture of what they're wanting and put it there. Because like if you can't really take every little piece of it, you're going to miss the intricate things that make them who they are. So One thing that's great about like working with me is if you build a website with me, I actually get on a Zoom meeting with you and we revise it together. Um, just in case you don't like what I did. And I will build a site again for you because I really want it to represent who you are. As somebody who's really into branding and stuff, I think that's important. Now, the hardest part I would say is sometimes you think you have a perfect image of what somebody wants, but you can't satisfy everybody. So
Right.
sometimes people are not going to be satisfied. Sometimes people are not going to understand what you're doing, why you're saying it. And I have had to learn that, not everybody's going to be pleased with your service, and it's okay to be okay with that. It's did you put your best foot forward? And 99.9% of the time, people are happy because we do that review. But there's always going to be that one person who doesn't like what you're doing. And you can't let that one person depict how you feel about yourself if you've worked with
Sure.
99% of people and everything worked
Yeah,
better. Mhm.
sure. So tell us a bit about some of the successes you've had. Can you walk us through, let's say, one of your more successful engagements with a client and what that was like?
Yeah, so right now it's still being kind of discussed, but I have a company who is incredible, who's kind of working on some DNA stuff. And this is impact to me. I think it's so cool how they're like heavily considering me to help them build their website. And it's just this wonderful thing. It's like to help with like injury and sports and some great stuff. And I think it's really a blessing being able to see that people are willing to be more inclusive of like me as an individual in their like just studies, research, just brands in general. When before there used to not be a space where people who are neurodivergent really could really be okay being who they are and like say what they think is creative and helpful.
Be
And
themselves, sure. Yeah.
yeah, so yeah, that's my thought on that.
Okay, great. And so, okay, if someone wanted to engage with you, help us understand that. They go to your website, you can see it up there in your background, eleable.com. And what would they do? Is there a contact page on there? We're going to have your email address in the description as well, right?
Yeah, so if they click on either contact or buy a website, they can also go to calendly.com/book with Gab. And I do all my bookings on the same calendar. And when you book with me, we can meet and then I'll understand everything that you need. I actually do not build websites without us first meeting because I want to get to know the person first because I think that's a big part of building the website.
Yeah, I
So,
would think so. It's very intimate. I would imagine that, having someone expressing, your brand identity and your organization's face to the world, it's something that everyone wants to get right. And
mhm.
it can take a while to work through that. And knowing that you're there, to listen and be involved throughout the whole process and do that live editing, I think is key. So, I'll applaud you for that because,
Thank you.
in the past, I've had people work for me on these types of projects, and they would not do that in real time. So I think that's
Yeah.
really valuable to your client.
I think some people are scared to do it because they use the AI a lot of times to build. But since me, I'll tell you, if I refine something with the AI, I would tell you I'm transparent. That's integrity. And some people, they just don't want you to know like how they're doing and stuff. But I'm here to help people succeed because I think when people around me succeed, I also succeed. So
Right. Yeah. It
it's a good
seems like it goes hand in hand, right? Your success is ultimately their success. And
Mhm.
so, having a strong partner in that is got to be key.
Mhm.
Okay, Gab, tell us a bit about the future. What comes next for you and your organization that you're leading there? What's on the horizon for you? Where do you hope to grow?
So I've been really blessed like this past 9, 10 weeks that I've been on Alignable, especially. I literally like got 40,000, 41,000 actually this morning. I looked views on my profile like in 10 weeks. That's insane. And
Yeah.
somebody offered me like a TV show and we're gonna work on a neurodivergent channel. I've done some radio stuff, which is cool. And we have a lot of projects like coming up, which is pretty neat. So just a
Great.
lot of that advocacy for neurodiversity. It means so much to me because I remember when I was younger, it was just so hard to find connection with people. And, now I'm getting to a place where people are a lot nicer.
Yeah, tell us about an organization that people can go and either get involved or learn. Is there one that you're working with that you'd recommend our audience to go and check out?
Yeah, so I'm working on my own. It's called Nunity, but I also have one, and that stands for NeuroUnity. And then there's also one that's very established. It's called Milestones National Autism Resources. And Monique Bergendorf, I always mess her name up, so I hope I said that right. She's great. She's incredible. And I speak for that conference. I spoke for it last year. I'm planning on speaking again this year. And they just do such a good job connecting people to resources that are helpful. They have like this big directory of nothing but like resources. And I'm an associate board member. She actually kind of initiated me into kind of like being a associate board member with them.
Great.
So that's always great. And it feels good because it's like you take this creative thing that's not really like an advocacy tool, but like you use it for something like so grand. So like it's just so nice to take website design and actually have purpose behind it.
Sure. Right. Yeah, it does. It is. And it sounds like that's your superpower. So we're going to call you Gap Possible from now on. So, hey,
Yeah.
tell us what you want your legacy to be. You're still a young person, so I know you seem to have already started off on a strong track, but what are you working towards? What do you want to be remembered for? What is your purpose that drives you?
So I would like to be remembered as somebody who is genuine, cares about people, and has made a difference in our world and made everybody feel like they had safe space to be here. Because not everybody like gets to feel loved. So everybody I work with, I try to make them feel at least some portion of love, not creepy, weird love, but like actually like a love, like a kindness love,
Yeah,
you know?
the agape kind, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
non-romantic love. Yeah, like the love you have
Yes.
for your fellow humans. Sure.
Mhm. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think it's important because there's just so much hate in this world. And, if you can be the light to somebody's day, why not? You know, There's a lot of people who I know that sometimes it's like foreign to meet somebody who's actually genuinely nice to you and positive. And it's so sad that we've gotten to this point where when somebody's nice to you, we think something's wrong with them because like,
right.
oh, there's that person has to have something.
It should
So
be the default setting, right? Like in my
yeah.
mind, that's why we're here, and
Mhm.
anything else is foreign to me. And so
Yeah.
that's why I enjoy talking to you, and why I've made connection with you is that I've always, from the first time I said hello, it felt like it's an easy conversation. You were really genuine.
Thank
And
you.
those are the people that I'm attracted to and that I want to have on the show. So thanks for joining us today, Gab. We're going to look
Thank you.
for you in maybe a future episode when you get into some new programs or you have some new news to share. I'll invite you to come back and spread the word there.
Uh,
And if you want to invite any of your colleagues to come on and speak, I would give them a platform for that as well. So maybe just pass on that message.
I would love that. And I really thank you for also like doing this too, because I think that's so sweet. And I realize that when you have a positive mindset and you really are positive towards people, you attract like similar like people around you. And I think that like it's just the energy thing. It's just so awesome, honestly. And you're one of these great people that I've met. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you for saying that because it is it's a gift in my life, all these other positive people that I keep giving myself, and I'm going to encourage my audience to do the same thing. Like surround yourself with the best, and you'll just feel loved and appreciated, and have a great day every day. I guarantee it. So thank you,
Yes.
Gab. It was nice talking to you today. We look forward to seeing you again in the future.
Thank you. Thank
All
you.
right. Thanks for watching this episode of Legacy Curious. I'm your host, David Gravelle. If you or someone you know would like help securing their legacy or would want to be a guest on our podcast, email us at legacycurious@gmail.com. Everyone has a story. Let's make sure yours is heard and remembered.